Welcome back. You're still watching this morning live on Metro TV. We are live on DSTV channel 277, live on Facebook and YouTube, Metro TV Ghana. My name is Anaya Tanawache, and I'm doing this with this morning quick dance. So, okay, that's the star boy fading. And this morning we are looking at grief. I mean, grief simply means the response to loss. And it can be painful, confusing, and exhausting sometimes. And oftentimes, people actually don't get the necessary answers they need. They tend to be asking more questions, but then they get few answers. This morning we have Reverend Kisiedu Antiri on the line to tell us more about grieving. Good morning, Reverend, if you can hear me.
Good morning.
Hope you're well, Reverend.
And greetings to your viewers.
Okay, Reverend, I was asking if you're okay, if you're good.
Yes, by grace, I'm doing well. And you?
Great, I'm fine. She's fine too. I can see for her. Now, Reverend, we're talking grieving. I mean, Danaya just put an explanation to it, but from your perspective also, what would you say grieving is?
The grief is a response to the loss of someone or something. I mean, in that sense, you see that it is not just related to a human loss, but people go through grief for several reasons. Sometimes that is how bad it is, that what you feel as a result of losing, let's say, a husband or a child or a wife, and then somebody is feeling the same thing because of a dog or a cat or their job. But that is how it is. This is a natural process with us as human beings, that once we lose something that is important, we go through a grieving period.
Okay, so
okay.
Okay, so I was saying
the grieving period can take several forms, and at the end of the day, it's each person and how they go through it and how long it lasts. At certain points, we may have to say it has gotten to the extreme, and then some psychological help may be needed. But for most of us, it is a normal thing that we would have to go through.
Okay. I know that sometimes when losses come, but I appreciate the fact that you're saying that it's not just about losing someone, you know, when it comes to, but maybe you're hoping you go to the States and get your something, and, you know, it doesn't happen. But really, people do try and say that, you know, those kind of things. Others too would say that, you know, cry your hearts out.
Yeah.
Everything that is in you, just grieve so hard. Which one is it from your perspective also?
Okay, so in that sense, we would say that each person and how they go through the grieving period. And the best that we can do to support them is to let the person take their own way out of it. You may tell somebody, especially with us men, that is how we say it. So then you are not supposed to cry. The person would then be bottling up some of these emotions that they are feeling. And in the end, it would not go away. It would only intensify to the extent where some people would get depressed and even suicidal. So at the end, it is about opening up, let the person express whatever feelings that they are having. And the feelings may be diverse. There are people who would get very angry, those that would completely withdraw, and those that, like you say, would cry. And all of these ones, we should just give them time to go through it. When you see that it is getting overboard, that is when then we try to come in and offer some kind of help.
Okay, Rev, whilst many focus on the emotional aspects, like how Desi mentioned, I want to find out, is there any other side about grieving that really doesn't necessarily have to involve intense feeling where you are sad? Is there another side of grieving that really doesn't involve these feelings, like these emotional feelings? Or when it's grief, you have to grieve, cry.
you see, it's with us, all the ways we deal with things. Somebody gets emotional and they cry. Somebody would watch an African movie and cry. Another person would laugh their head off. And Even with the laughing, somebody will be lying on the ground, rolling, and all those kinds of things. It's all with us and how we decide to go through whatever it is that we are going through. But in a sense, like you mentioned, there are some who would just cry, others would not cry, and they would actually be more active. They will be more, in a sense, outgoing during those periods. And I would say for me personally, it is those ones that are dangerous sometimes, because they are the ones that you do not see them grieving. And so you do not feel like there is a need to give them some kind of support or comfort, because they seem to be rather comforting other people. But at the end, when they are alone, that is when you see that they just break down. And those are really the dangerous ones.
Okay, then it will bring me to my next question, that is there a difference between grieving and mourning?
Now, how would we say this?
Yes, because it's like going through the whole, is there a difference, mourning and grieving?
In a sense, I would almost say when we say mourning, it's more of just limited to death.
Okay.
Whilst grieving, like we explained, covers every loss.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because someone could grieve over, like I was saying, you know, you're gonna go
and
travel abroad, and you get there, it doesn't happen. You can be it can really get to you so much that you grieve over it. But I want to ask, is there anything like excessive? Like, you know, that maybe within 3 months, or within a month, you're grieving, someone's grieving should be over, or largely the grieving should be over, but 6 months and someone is still carrying a certain pain, you know, of that into a year and all of that. In your situation as a reverend, as a counselor, when you get into things like that, how do you go about it?
Yes, at the end, like we said, it's a normal process, but then it will get to a point where for some people it may become a psychological problem.
Okay.
Because they still are not able to deal with the loss. Let's say somebody goes through a divorce. They have banked their hopes on spending their whole life with this person, and all of a sudden the person is gone. And you know, sometimes it becomes much more difficult when the person is alive than if the person is dead. So they are grieving that loss, and it eventually gets to the point where they are mental. So in this case, we really need to be able to find a way of bringing the person to believe that even without the plans that they have made, still there is a life. And sometimes it's like being able to get people out of this situation requires them to also lose the guilt, because sometimes they have said so many things, done so many things, which meant I cannot survive without this person. And so now, when the person is no more, they feel some guilt within themselves that I said this, or I knew I was not going to survive with this person. So now that the person is gone, how do I become happy again? If even somebody comes into their lives that is able to bring up the same liveliness, they still feel guilty, as if they are betraying the dead person or their loss. And so they want to still maintain that grief. And so we need to be able to help them to be able to feel that, yes, this was a time in your life where this person was so important. You had to give your best to that person. Now the person is no more. The person would even desire that you will be able to move on. And with that, with most people, we will be able to move on ahead from that.
Okay.
But like we said, there are certain complications, and in that sense, psychologists may have to come in.
Okay, Rev. But then tell us about what the Bible says about grieving in general.
Well, I would give the very nice example of David when he lost the child with Bathsheba.
Yeah.
Now, he was grieving so much, praying and asking God to save the child. Now, just after he saw that, the servants, the way that they are behaving, it's like something is gone. He now gets up. He asks the question, what's the state of the child? The child is dead. Now he goes, he baths, he eats. And people are confused. Why? Because the way that you were behaving when the child was sick, we are expecting that it will aggravate now that the child is gone.
Yeah.
But he states something very, very important, which is the fact that there is nothing that I can do to change the situation now. The child is not coming back to me. I would rather go and join the child. So when we have this as a basis, you understand that there are certain times that you would have a loss. But when the loss comes, it's not about getting angry with God. Just understanding that at that point, He is the one who knows the best for every situation. And that we as Christians as well, we do not cry and weep like those without hope. We know and understand that because Jesus Christ rose from the dead, there is also the assurance that we are also going to rise from the dead. So those that are, in a Christian sense, asleep, one day they will all wake up with us and we would celebrate with the Lord. And for that, there is comfort.
Yeah, okay. I like that last part.
Yeah.
Reverend was quoting Revelations 21 verse 4.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Hallelujah. Our sister is taking us to the church. But anyways, Reverend, let's talk about the role of, family, friends in situations like that. How we should be able to keep, people who are grieving, company.
Yes. It is very, very, very important that we support them. We should build that support base. It's not just the work of priests or psychologists, because at the end, they are outside. You are the ones, the family and friends who are closest to the person. You are there with them during their day-to-day activities. You'll be able to see more things, hear more things from them. And you would know them better that at the end of the day, with whatever it is that, I don't particularly like the idea that you are always pushing scriptures at somebody. I mean, when they are going through hard times and then you start quoting scriptures to them, you do not think you are pushing them overboard. So in those times, it's the manifestation of those words. If you are manifesting the love of God towards this person, you are there to listen to the person. Sometimes it's not just about talking to them, but listening to them. Some people are going through guilt. That is the reason why they are going through the grief. I needed to talk to this person. I needed to tell them something important, and I didn't, and now they are no more. So they need somebody to express all those things to. And in that sense, the family and friends play a key role. And it is not a time for you to be condemning. It's not a time for you to be bashing the person, but it is the time where you accept them, you encourage them, motivate them, show them the true love, and out of that, they would also be able to come out of it. Never look down on the person, because then at the end, let's say, this is my brother. The person is, let's say, your husband. And no matter what, I feel like I am bonded to him by blood. So if even I have gone through my grief, why are you still going on? But we are all different. And you may have known the person your whole life, but I have known the person for only a week. But the bond between us may be stronger than yours. So yours is just to be there for the person, encourage them, share ideas, share the memories, and out of it, you would all be able to get out of it.
Thank you very much, Reverend, this morning, and we're very grateful that you joined us on this particular topic. Very, very important. Thank you so much. So that was Reverend Antiri helping us understand grieving and how we should go about it. It's a very interesting one. Yesterday, I had a
sad news.
Yeah, sad news.
Yeah.
A colleague from UCC, had passed on, Kofi Ameyao, and so. condolences to all UCC students, and all, especially to Manoni Mate Mensa. And yeah, well, as some people are, going out, some are celebrating birthday.
Yeah.
That is life. Happy birthday to my brother Gabby Official. Today is your birthday. God richly bless you. And also to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. This one here from Nana Otoe Champon says, it gives me great pleasure to rejoice with you on the occasion of your 1 year away from your Diamond Jubilee birthday. As the governor of the Central Bank, you have rendered selfless service to Ghana at a most challenging period of the banking sector, and I salute your commitment, passion, and fortitude to strengthen the banking in Ghana. And so happy birthday to you. So that's it for the morning. Many thanks for watching. I am Desmond Okrekodans. You can call me Desi Freedom, the Star Boy. Now's here.
And I'm Nanaya Tanawashi. To everybody grieving this morning, just read Revelations 21 verse 4 and you'll be very, very excited. You'll be touched with whatever word that is there. Up next is Good Morning Ghana with Dr. Randy Abe. See you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of our programs.